Welcome in this perspective drawing with an elastic. Yes, that is, and what we have here is we've sticked it to the drawing board, and those are your two disappearing points, and also you can take a third elastic for a little helper line, for a third disappearing point if you want. Now this is a paper clip. I folded it open and I can make a fine corners now to get that perspective working for me. And the elastic itself is my horizon, and furthermore I'm using a simple graphite pencil. Now I want to draw this Brooklyn Bridge, and first I draw in the horizon just underneath the elastic. And what I want to draw in first is that big pillar. It's the bearer of that bridge, and the elastic itself cannot be used as a ruler. You just have to draw next to it. So it's a perfect way to train your freehand drawing. And you can see me here getting in the lines that are in perfect perspective. And what is another pro for drawing next to elastics is that your lines are not that sterile and very straight. And in the meantime you are simply drawing your freehand, training your freehand by not using a ruler but just drawing next to that elastic. Now what I'm doing first here is drawing that big well, it's kind of a wall. It's in between pillar and the holder of the bridge itself, of course. And you can see me and just check out when I'm using that elastic to get those lines that are the main lines, and they are very important to get right at the beginning when you start your drawing. Now here I use the elastic for the underside of the bridge, and I need that to be in perfect perspective, so I totally need that elastic. And that bridge goes on the left side, so here I use it too, of course. And there are some big boulders also on the side, so I draw those in. And I'm not using it all the time, of course, the elastic, only when I'm checking my perspective. I need it here for the top, so that line can be erased, and those lines have to be perfect. And also here for the arches that are in the bridge, also those have to be in perfect perspective. And this is the boulder that is holding later on the cables that go down to the bridge, and those are actually holding that bridge up in the air. The cables I will draw in later, and I also draw in the thickness of that wall, of that bridge holder. These lines can be erased now. That's the underside of the bridge, which you cannot see through. And then here I check the left side. You can see here the other bridge holder, and there's not a lot of perspective anymore, so but I have to draw that in. It's the second bridge pillar. I'm not sure how you call that. Let me know in the comments below. And what I also draw in is the first shadow. And here on the underside of the bridge, those lines need to be in perfect perspective too. So there I use that elastic again, of course. And this is my horizon. That was the first line that we were drawing. And I'm drawing in some buildings. That's supposed to be Brooklyn. This line has to be perfect too. Here and there I check it a little bit. I will draw this in. Okay. Well, those are the main lines. So once you have that, you can take away the elastic. And then, well, you're totally up to drawing by side. So here is where you are really at freehand now. And because all the main lines are drawn in already, your drawing is kind of perfect. So what you draw in next is totally up to you. Now what you want to draw in, of course, are those cables that are holding up that bridge. And for the further going on of your drawing, you can put in just as much as detail as you want. And that is what makes your drawing interesting. And that is that it looks like it's all freehand, because you did not use any ruler. And once you have those main lines standing, you can shift over to any technique you like. So maybe you are a watercolor painter, then you can start painting your drawing. Or maybe you want to draw this one all the way in ink. That's perfect. Or maybe you are more of a color pencil drawer, or whatever medium you want to use, you can just go ahead once you have those main lines standing and they are in perfect perspective. Now, because this is a very, very handy tip and very unique for when you want to get acquainted to drawing perspective, well, this technique is not only very quick to do, but it is also very neat because you are drawing next to the elastics, and it trains you. So please, if you have friends that are drawers to artists, please share this movie with them, so as many people as possible can get acquainted to this technique and get started with it, because it is so very simple and nice to do, and you have a great view of perspective instantly because of those elastics. Now what I do here is I draw in a little bit of reflection into the water. I've drawn Brooklyn on the line of the horizon, and I simply draw in a little bit of reflection into the water. Now that's just perfect because you instantly get the feel of water. And what I also keep in mind is, where is the light coming from? And in this case, the light is coming from way top left. So underneath the bridge there will be shadow in the water. then the underside of the bridge, of course, is dark, and the front of the pillar is dark, and so that's also very important when you want to draw perspective, is that you always keep in mind where is the sun coming from. This gives an extra 3D effect, and it makes your drawing very vibrant because of those shadows. You can see already it's getting very, very impressive, and that is also because I made use of a third disappearing point, that was that blue elastic. So that gives it a very special dynamic. And I've chosen to continue this drawing with a little bit of pan pastel. I'm not yet used to it, so I will come back to you with that technique. I have not practiced it enough yet, so I will not be paying any attention to it. But what I do want to urge you is to try this out and do it with your own technique. Maybe that's ink, maybe that's pastel, maybe it's watercolor, maybe it's color pencil, or whatever technique you're using. And as I was saying, please share it with your friends so they get a go at it too. And I will just finish this drawing in my own way. So please sit back and enjoy. Let me know what you think of it, of course. And well, have fun. I will see you again in my next tutorial, and I hope you will place a command. See you again.
Some girls, they want the moon, handed down by this week's buffoon. But my heart makes no such demands. I've made this short list, please have a glance.